Let me be clear. This is all information that's just been leaked, so it's totally possible that loot boxes aren't coming to DBD. But I wouldn't keep my hopes up. For those of you that are out of the loop, recently a very consistent leaker for DBD content, named Dweet, announced that loot boxes containing previous Rift items would be coming to Dead by Daylight. Which is concerning, to say the least. However, it isn't confirmed how they will be obtained, so at best it will be like the original Alpha Pack system from R6, which, put simply for those who never got to play Peak Siege, you have a chance to earn after winning a game, and you can't directly buy them with any money, and they only give cosmetic items that you can usually obtain some other way. Or at worst... well, I think the vast majority of y'all are already aware of the other side of the spectrum. Before I start giving my opinions on the matter, I want to clarify exactly what has and has not been said in the leaks, because separating facts from your opinions is literally the most basic journalism skill, and yet half the people on this website can't even pretend to try and do it. Everything that's been leaked so far, as I currently understand it, is as follows. A new form of random chance item will be added under the name mystery boxes. There are two forms of mystery boxes coming, one referred to as core and then a special pack, that are currently only known to contain past Rift items. The only thing we know about how to obtain these items is through a system known as campaigns, which is, according to Dweet, the name for the Twitch drops. That is all we know from the leaks. Anything and everything else is speculation. As of me writing this, we have received no information on if these boxes will be able to be purchased with real-world money, shards, blood points, or other means. All we know is that they're a part of Twitch drops. For those of you who are like me and had no clue what a Twitch drop is, it's a reward for people get for spending a certain amount of time watching specific behavior-approved streamers on Twitch. You don't have to subscribe to whatever creator you're watching, which is good because unlike YouTube, subscribing on Twitch isn't free. But you do oftentimes have to link a third-party account, like Steam, Xbox, etc., to your Twitch account to be able to get the in-game rewards. Now, I'm going to alienate myself a bit by saying that I do not like Twitch, and I never really have. I enjoyed doing Nemesis workshop streams way back when he first came out, but ever since then I've had nothing but bad experiences with the website, to the point where I'd stopped using it in its entirety just after a couple months of making an account. I also never really liked the culture of Twitch, and I feel like I only ever hear about it nowadays when it just randomly decides to try and compete with the Minecraft Firefly website for a week before changing its mind. But despite all that, and hear me out here, I think there is a possibility where these loot boxes could be good for the Dead by Daylight community. Which, I understand, is a wildly hot take, so hear me out first, okay? To get the obvious out of the way, if you can buy these packs in any way with real-world money, or even significantly boost the rate at which you earn them with real money, I am completely against them getting added to the game. I have a strong dislike against real-world gambling in games because they circumvent pretty much every single law, regulation, and protection that actual casinos and other gambling sites have to follow. And I'd hate to see DBD stoop to another immoral money-making tactic after their NFT fiasco a couple years ago. But with everything we know at the moment, that's not the case. This is just speculation derived from looking at similar system in other popular games, but if everything we know is true and full picture of the loot boxes, adding them is a genuine win-win situation for everyone involved. Working off the information we know so far, we can assume that the system would work a bit like this. Behavior enables DBD Twitch drops and allows content creators to apply to have their channel added to the drops program, which drives new viewers to these creators, allowing them to reach a wider audience, both due to people watching for the drops and their inflated viewer numbers increasing their channel's discoverability on Twitch. The viewers are rewarded for watching content creators by getting random in-game items, and behavior benefits from the increased exposure and goodwill the content creators and the drops create. Taking it a step further, there's a second symbiotic relationship in this, as Twitch themselves benefit from these drops, as they oftentimes drive more traffic to the website, which means more people watching ads and spending money on the site, which also obviously benefits the creators as they are oftentimes given a cut of the spent money. This is a great system, with the only downside being that if this is the only way to get old Rift items, it may take a genuinely brain-rotting amount of hours to watch to get the item that you want. However, we have to ask ourselves how realistic this idealized system is. While it does benefit everyone involved, there's one thing it doesn't do: directly increase the profits for behavior. And if the 4 trillion Fang skins have taught us anything, it's that behavior mostly only cares about things that increase their profits directly. And there's no denying that adding the ability to pay for loot boxes would instantly skyrocket DBD's profits in the short term. There's a reason loot boxes took over gaming in the mid-2010s and still to this day have an entire genre of games based around them. It's because they make ungodly amounts of money. Take a look at this survey from Statistica, showing that nearly 1 out of every 4 people who played Fortnite during 2019 spent real-world money on buying loot boxes before they were discontinued in the game. In another article from 2020, Statistica also projected that loot boxes would have a market cap of almost $20 billion by the year 2025. For those of you who have no concept of how much that is, that's over 1/3 of the value of the entirety Target store chain. Now obviously, DBD wouldn't make anywhere near that much money, but with that much money on the table, it's impossible to deny that Behavior, DBD, and especially DBD Mobile and its backer NetEase are greatly incentivized into adding paid loot boxes into the games. If DBD were to even get 0.1% of that estimated market cap, they would gain $20 million of revenue from paid loot boxes alone. With that much money on the line, even if loot boxes do originally launch in a healthy way, there's nothing saying that after a slow year, Behavior may be forced to take the plunge into paid loot boxes, especially if NetEase has any say in it. Personally, I'm going to hope for the best, expect the worst, and probably still end up disappointed in the end. And before I end the video, I'd also like to point out that it is incredibly likely, but unconfirmed, that these boxes will most likely be flooded with the recently added banners, as the last time DBD introduced an entirely new form of cosmetic, it was charms, which were added to the game solely so they could pad out the battle passes with nearly worthless garbage so people didn't realize how little they're actually getting when they buy the pass. Which is why I've never used a charm, even the ones that they give out for free. And I'm most likely going to keep that mentality going forward with player banners too. Player banners and or calling cards are also historically a loot box's best friends, as they are cheap to produce in bulk, padding out the reward pools and being just barely better than getting nothing. Makes them ideal if you want to artificially decrease the chances of a player getting what they actually want so that the player will keep gambling. If you need examples of this, just take a look at a game like Black Ops 4 to see how out of control things can get very quickly. To recap, it isn't confirmed that loot boxes will contain these banners, but it's incredibly likely if you look at the writing on the wall, and previous patterns in DBD's history. Anyways, with all that said, happy hunting. Yes, I was speedrunning this video.